It's the weekend. It's Mailbag. I'm joined this week by Warren and Dave. It's the weekend just before we play Bournemouth. And it's deadline day as well. And I think that the only news we've had really so far today is that Maupay has gone to Marseille. So on the back of that, the hot topic was, what EFC player were you glad to see the back of? Dave, go ahead.
How long have you got? Trying to think of fellas who we just got. It was actually who's the fella we're signing today? Mangala.
Yeah, Mangala.
The same name as him, who was the Man City former defender. I felt sorry for him, because he snapped his leg, didn't he, in the corner of the Gladys Street that day. But he was crap. Sidibe as well. Sidibe, delighted to get rid of Sidibe.
I felt sorry for him, but he was crap.
Yeah. Well, what else can you say? He's a footy player. Do you know what I mean? All the other games I saw him, but the one top of the list for me was Funes Mori. I could not stand that lad. And
not even his barbecues.
Yeah, as well. I'd happily take up one of them if he was offering. But the reason why he was an absolute twat was when he snapped Origi. People started applauding him as well, and look, I get that.
That was weird, wasn't it?
But when he got sent off, he starts kissing the badge. And you've just fucking... We were shite anyway. You're never going to win that game at Anfield, were we? But I don't know what score it was when he got sent off. But he basically snapped that lad's ankle. Do you know what I mean? And look, people will be listening to this and like, ha ha ha. Do you know what I mean? But fucking hell, mate.
To be honest,
shite.
Had he actually snapped his ankle and sort of ended Origi's career, he could have saved us a lot of hassle there.
Well, yeah, because it was pre the infamous one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and pre that frigging Barcelona game as well. So
you'd happily pay for his medical invoices, would you? Yeah, just to make sure we didn't lose that game 2-1 with Pickford.
Just on that timeline, yeah, definitely.
He was crap though. He was crap, wasn't he? I know he scored. The one moment I remember where he was enjoyable was when he got that goal at Chelsea, where we should have won that game. I think we went 3-2 up with 2 minutes to go, and John Terry made it 3-0 when it shouldn't have been a goal. I'm pretty sure he scored that, didn't he? Scored in that game.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, but no, he's a bellend.
Yeah, that's a shout. Warren.
Well, just before I answer the question, I need to show you this. So, I know you both know I've been away, but I've been away for the last 5 weeks in the States, and I was in Kansas City. And in Kansas City, there's a famous district called 18th and Vine, which is a famous jazz district. I'm going to show you this on the camera now. One of the jazz clubs was called
the Blue Room.
One of the jazz clubs was called the Blue Room. Yeah, so we
you brought
it was closed. It was. I've got 2 glasses. You can have it if you want, Dave. But it was closed, so I couldn't actually go in. But I'll just show you this. This is terrible for people who are listening on the podcast, but I don't know if you can see that as well. My picture next to it as well.
Oh, it's the signs in yellow with blue writing as well.
With the yellow and blue writing, yeah. So I was outside the Blue Room.
For those listening, he's standing there with no kicks on. And
Dave, with 2 minutes into the podcast and you've gone there already.
Hey, listen, mate, you know that's mild. I was going to say something worse than that.
So yeah, so I had I got 2 pint glass things from there with the Blue Room written on them, and I had my picture taken out. So I needed to let you know that, because it was a little bit of it was nice. It was nice to know they had a club and to get my picture outside it, knowing what I've been involved with you lads and stuff as well. But going to the hot topic, going to the question. So I've just again had a little look there at Everton transfers throughout the history of the last 10 years or so, and I've got 2. I'll give an honourable mention to one, and I'll give me answer for the other. My honourable mention is for Jean-Philippe Gbamin. He must be the worst signing we've ever made. Surely him.
We still got him.
No, well, probably, he's probably on our books somewhere.
Didn't he go last year or something?
Yeah, it was something silly.
When he left and he sold all his Everton training gear on Facebook Marketplace, that was the best.
No way, that's not real, is it? Did he actually do that?
No, he did. He put up a picture of on one of the equivalents, but something like a Facebook Marketplace, 300 quid for all his Everton training gear that he's had throughout the 6 years he was here, whatever it was.
I love that.
And obviously it was all good as new because he never wore it because he never trained.
Yeah,
He was always frigging injured. But yeah, 30 million I think we paid for him, or 26 million, something like that, and we got 5 games at best out of him, I think. So he's one, but Phil Neville. Oh my, couldn't wait to see the back of him.
You've got to be joking, Phil Neville.
Couldn't wait to see the back of him. And even now, like I just his rallying cries and he's a little dork, he's a little nerd, and I can't stand him. So yeah, couldn't wait to see the back of him once he left. And yeah, I mean, I wish we'd Phil Neville, Ashley Young, but there we go.
You can take your Kit Kats and piss off. Yeah.
Yeah. Attack the day.
That is an outstanding shout. That, I mean, I was not expecting that whatsoever. In fact, I would say most people that I know would put him, he'd be pretty low down on their list of. Do you know every now and again, like on whatever social media it is, or you get them on Facebook, someone, like, it's normally a Facebook man, isn't it? He puts up like a quote to get you through the day, and it's normally like there's a beach in the background and there's a quote written over a picture of a beach. Yeah. Phil Neville's one of them. He's got them framed in his hallway. He's one of them. He's got them like, and he's got one of them things like in his gym, like in his home gym. He's probably got something like hard work beats talent if talent work hard.
Yeah,
he's one of them.
Yeah, the Rudyard Kipling type of thing that's on Wimbledon.
And do you know what? I'm all for that. I'm all for positive quotes. I'm all for like positive mental. I'm all for that. But when you're a shit football player and you start dishing this all out, I can't be doing with it. So yeah, I was glad to see the back of him. The little.
It's an interesting shout.
Maggie said, hot topic, but not how you expected it. Joel Robles. Someone find that picture of his absolute peach of a backside, the prime rump of an Iberian prince. I've actually put that on the thumbnail to this, and my God, honestly, it's
you could walnut with that, couldn't you?
Oh, it genuinely is. I mean, yeah, it's incredible. Liam said Pembridge, never a fan. Fair enough.
Pembridge, he
did all right, didn't he?
This is a great
he
shout.
Couldn't move. He couldn't move though, could he? He could whip a cross in, but could not move.
A great shout from Rob van der Meijden, because he didn't seem to want to play. Per Krolderup, a central defender who couldn't head the ball. Drenthe and Luckman, too young or overconfident in themselves. Van der Meijden's a great shout. Van der
Meijden did put that great cross in now in the cup semi-final against Liverpool. Gosling to score, yeah.
I've got his number, and I'm sure if you search in the archives of the Blue Room, there's when I did an interview with him, and I'm pretty sure he was off his cake then as well. So I don't know how the Premier League ran doing the old tests or drug tests after games, but he certainly wasn't approached on those occasions, was he? He must have got in his car straight away as soon as the game finished and said, "See you later, lads."
Got in his car with his dog in the back.
With
Gary said Tim Howard.
Good lad,
Penny said Morales.
I'm with that. That's a great shout. I couldn't stand Morales. I just.
What's wrong with you, Warren?
Well, you're in the same boat as Kieran. You're in the same boat as Kieran, who said Morales. One Jeremy Hunt. He didn't say that, but one Jeremy Hunt. That. Christ. Tommy said David Burrows, the playing equivalent of FSW, and Wes said Maupay. And we've come full circle on the hot topic.
Yeah.
Laura asked, on the topic of Neil Maupay, what's the most shithouse thing you've done? Warren, go ahead. You've done nothing. You've not done anything, have you?
I have. I definitely have. I don't know. Like, I try not to be one, but I've definitely done something where I've like called. There's a fella in where he copite actually. I don't know if you remember, Les, but when I was last up, or a couple of times before when I was up, I got used to film a thing called work a shithouse, because he's from down here and he's a Liverpool fan, so of course he's a shithouse. But he's a bit renowned for like dropping people under the bus in work, but not in a bad way, not in a way that gets you in trouble or gets you like. But what I'll do every now and again is, if someone does something, so we'll get a message in the WhatsApp group, who's left this out or who's done this, and I'll just tag him in the WhatsApp group, even though it's not him. I'll just always tag him in there, like, to get my own back. So I suppose that's some bit of shithousery I'll do. But like, I don't know as well, things like, you know, when you're driving as well, like if you're driving in your car or whatever, and you could easily let someone in. Like, oh, I'll tell you what I have done. That's a shithouse move. Do you know when you're on the motorway or you're on like a big main busy road, and say there's like 2 lanes and one of the lanes is closed, but it's not closed for another 200 yards. So you've got the lane to the outside here open, but this lane that you're in is wall to wall with cars because it turns into one lane. So what I've done before, I've been that knobhead who sits in the lane on the outside and drives right up to the edge where it's closed, flick the indicator on, and then just wheel myself in while everyone else is waiting back there. So that's probably the biggest shithouse thing I've done. I've done that before, and I hate it when people do that to me. So I've done that before. So that's quite shithouse.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It's like one of those things when someone does it, like, look at this dickhead, and then sometimes you just got to do it yourself. You just got to.
Yeah. It's infuriating when you do the noble, like take the higher ground and sit like 10 cars back in the lane. It's the single lane, and then you just see someone go whoom to the front, and I'm thinking, don't let them in. Make them sit there. Don't let them in. But someone always lets them in.
I learned a life lesson at Nebworth, Liam Gallagher, the other year. So basically the car park was mayhem, and it had cars were parked like everywhere all over this field, and it had like one thing down the middle to drive out to get out the gates. We got on that little road to get out, but everyone was just screaming down the side and just gagging in and getting out. And we were like, no, it's all right. We'll sit here. We'll be fine. We'll sit here. 3 hours it took us to get out the car park. So, do you know what I mean? If you're going to just take care of yourself, forget everyone else. Just do those shithouse moves. Fine. Yeah.
The real answer is cock of our school back in the day, and I got on with them. But when it's the cock of the school, you think, you know, anything he doesn't like, he's probably going to
be wary.
Yeah, exactly. And like me being a big lad, like I think people had assumed that I was some sort of hard man. Do you know what I mean? Just because I'm like 6'4", 6 foot wide kind of fella. So the cock of the school, I went to our school, Hillside.
Sorry, Dave, to interrupt. Just for those of you that are not from the local area, cock of the school means like the toughest or hardest lad in the school.
Good shout. Didn't even think of that. Yeah.
It's not like someone who's, you know.
Well, I realise I'm talking to one wall and one who lives off a cliff.
No, but you know what? I thought this the other day. I thought like if people we've got a massive listeners, and they'll probably be confused if you say.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, cock of the school. They'll think, what's he on about?
I mean, I think you're right. I think when Rob Vida listened to this, he wouldn't know what I meant to you. He'd think someone else.
He'd be thinking all the time.
Yeah. He'd think the biggest dick or something when you're having a piss. But what happened here was, right, I got on with him, and very random, he loved The Matrix, you know, the film The Matrix. So the last two are crap, aren't they? The last 2 films are absolutely woeful. But they came out while we were in school. And for some reason, he'd come up to me and he'd say, I want to go and see them films. And I'd say, all right, sound, mate. But he said, you're going to get the tickets. And I looked at him and I said, what? He said, no. He said, you need to sort out the tickets. I was like, okay. It's like, it was 5 of the kids to go to pictures at the time. And I was like, yeah, no problem at all. Like, and he gives me a specific time. I think something like a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock or something like that. Said, yeah, no problem at all, mate. And he decided to invite about 12 of us from school. Ones that I had no idea who they are. Ones who he did know from our class. And all. I was like, why is this such a random group of people? And he come up to me in school, I think the day before. He said, have you got them tickets? I said, yeah, my dad's got them. He went, well, your dad better bring them because I badly want to go and see this film. And I was stood there like, what's going on? He was in the top set of everything in school as well. Really clever fella. And I was like, you know, why is he upset, like obsessed with me? And for anybody who's been to Switch Island, there's Odeon, and now it's a Matalan, but it used to be a bowling place. We went there. I'd sorted all the tickets out. He kept on saying to me, "Oh, my mate's gonna come." And I kept saying to me, Dad, you're going to have to get these tickets. You know, this lad's cock of the school and all that. And my dad, being the shithouse he is, he started getting them. So he ends up buying like 18, 19 kids. The list just kept on growing and growing. He just kept on ordering tickets after tickets after tickets. And he go up to me and he goes, I've sorted this out for you, son, as if to say, like, aren't I a really good dad? But he was doing it because he probably knew that fella could knock him out as well as me. So we ended up going, right, and it's like a school trip. There was that many of us going to the Odeon. And he said, I'm walking with him, and he's talking to me, and he said, do you reckon we go bowling first? Because we got there early. And I said, well, not really, no. You need to, like, book the bowling and all that. He said, can you go and sort it out? I said, no. And I'm not joking, mate. I shit my kecks. When I said no, he said, go ahead, just go and book it. And the look he gave me, and I thought, he's going to throw me down one of the bowling lanes here or something like that and use me as one of the balls. So I went in and, like, I just pretend, like, he didn't come in. And I just pretended to come back and said, oh, you know, it's sold out. Like, they've got nothing there. And he looked at me as if I thought, I'm going to go and check myself to see if this is real. And thankfully he didn't. We went in, watched the film, we come out at the end, and he went, tar for doing that, here's 30 quid. just threw me 30 quid, because like for 6 people or something like that. And he went, thanks for sorting that for us. And we got off. It's like, but you know when you think you're a shit house, and I thought, when I went in there and just blagged in the bowling place, and I just blagged it, you could actually go in if you wanted to, but I'm telling you, it was too full. I was thinking, I was a brave person there, but because I was basically being his butler to get him to go to pictures. And I'm thinking, I can't be the only person that does this. Some others must have said no.
Yeah.
To this day, I never found out. But yeah, it was a massive shit house.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's fair enough, though. It was good. Quickly, mine was in school as well. It was Valentine's Day, and we were in the English class. And we'd written a card for the teacher and left her on the desk, me and my mate. 2 of our other mates come in. And we're like, put a card on the desk there for the teacher. Said it's off him over there. Pointed to some other lad. Like, oh, that's amazing. That's sound. So we just sat there waiting for the teacher to come in. And we're like, so I said to my mate, go ahead, you tell him the card's there. Go, sir, the card's there. He goes, no, fuck off, you do that. So we're squabbling between us, and this other lad sat next to us. Go, yeah, go ahead, tell him that card's there on his desk. So this other lad goes, sir, there's a card on the desk there for you. Picks the card up and goes, oh, thanks, I didn't know you cared, because we've written it off this lad who said to the teacher, there's the card. So we pissed him up.
I love anything like that. You know, you could do a whole show on school shit like that, couldn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't my proudest moment. It was quite funny though. Right, next up, more Neil Maupay. If Neil Maupay is the answer, what is the question?
Prepare for the championship.
Je ne sais pas. That'll do. TWS from Finch Farm. The sound of group chat administrators making sure Neil Maupay is well clear. Please tell me about a time when you've had to manage a group chat. Hashtag Shawshank Redemption 5 quid HMV. I've never had to manage a group chat. Has anyone?
Done it in work a few times, yeah. And not being bad. Obviously, you guys know me. I'm an open person. I talk quite a lot, annoyingly to most. I did that a couple of times in work, but not in a serious sort of way. Where, like, I remember one time we went to the Crystal Maze in Manchester. I don't know if anybody's been to that. And we got a discount because it was Radio City, so we got a few quid off. So we all went there, and I organised that. And the way everyone remembers, well, most people should remember Crystal Maze. I think they brought it back a couple of years ago, but it was shite. So we went, and it was brilliant. Like, it was honestly like the show itself. Because you remember, like, how big the zones looked on it and all that.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting something like, I don't know, about 8. We called our name was like Pete Price's Lizards or something like that. And we decided, like, everyone takes at least 2 goes at each of the games. So we ended up, I think, with like 8 crystals, which gives you like, you get 10 seconds for each one or something. So it gives you like 80 seconds. And we got into the dome at the end of it, where you've got to collect the tokens, and you need over 50 to get your prize or something like that. In there, it was different. You had to get as what you can, and like the top score on the end of the day wins a prize. You know what I mean? All the others who'd done it in that day. So we were inside the dome, and like they're counting the seconds down before we all have to do it. So I had everyone in the middle. I was like, right, listen, give them all tactics. I'm like, I've got a jumper on here, right? And I'm going to open my jumper up, and anything you can get, just throw it on top of me. Just throw everything you can, all of them. Don't look if they're gold or not, because the silver ones get deducted. I said to them, just throw all the gold on me. And he did, and we went and won. And we got a crystal each with our little names on the bottom. And I'd like to hope that, I think there was 8 of us, I'd like to hope they still have them on their mantelpiece, because that was down to me. That was me and how I ran a group. So that's my answer.
Fair enough. That was good teamwork. I've never ran a group chat, but I've
You're doing it now?
No, you know in what? No, I've never ran it.
Like WhatsApp group or something.
Yeah, but do you know in WhatsApp where I think everyone's heard the story anyway, but I'll carry on. Do you know in WhatsApp where if you hit one of the stickers, it just sends regardless?
Yeah.
And you can't get it back. So twice I've done it.
You're usually the unicorn.
It was the frigging unicorn. Yeah, so one time my mate was telling me he's splitting up with his wife of 8 years, and I accidentally hit the unicorn blowing a kiss, and it just went through after this long message. And the other one was another mate. He was going on about this girl he was with, and he was really sort of opening his heart to me. And he must have sent about 5 or 6 messages telling me all these problems, and I accidentally hit the unicorn snoozing. You know, the unicorn with the Zs. And I was absolutely mortified. Why on earth they do that? But yeah, so that got me the nickname Glitter Hoof as well. So awful. Warren, have you ever run a group chat?
You must do as a teacher.
No, because I'm not in the kids group chats. Am I? That'd be weird.
You're in the teachers one though, aren't you? Teachers
but
must have out-day trips and all that with each other.
Yeah, no, but I'm never in charge. I've been in chats where, and it's normally me who's the one who's involved. But where 2 people have fallen out and they're just going at each other in the group, and you're it feels a bit awkward here. This, and you you feel the point where you've got to say something like, "Come on now, it's getting a bit personal," and But no, I've never really ran one. I've never really been. I'm admin. How powerful is it, by the way, if you're a group admin on WhatsApp and you've got that power? It's
I don't need that level of responsibility, to be honest.
No, I'm the same.
Well, I was like that with it sound like I'm really some sort of I'm sort of bragging about
cheese,
this.
Dave.
What?
You're the big cheese.
Well, I created the Blue Room.
There you go.
I hope everyone's listening to this and not looking at the face I've just made there. You know what I mean? Some sort of general. But in that, I remember 2012 when I started it. This is before I knew Matt. I knew Matt about, I don't know, a year, 2 years later. That in itself, it's probably go on and tell a story actually quite quickly. But because the Anfield Rap, many people won't like me saying this, but Steve Hoddesall, my old boss, said that he was approached by the Anfield Rap, who said they'd like to have a show on Radio City Talk, and he said yeah, and then he said to me, "Can you produce them?" And I said, "Yeah, no problem." Didn't know the lads at all. Relatively 2012, not really when podcasts was what podcasts are now. Yeah. So they came in and they got given a show on, I think it was 6:30 till 7:30 on a Monday night. And I had to produce it. So he said to me after that, he said, well, because we've got a Liverpool podcast, we have to have an Everton one just to balance out the city, basically. Otherwise, we're getting all sorts of shit from viewers. Loads of Evertonians wouldn't be listening to our commentary and stuff like that.
So your boss then didn't do the box park tactic now?
I'm sure he would do these days. There might not be no blue. That was the case. So anyway, I said no, because at the time, just out of uni, a couple of years before, I was like, I don't want anybody to refer to me as somebody who's that Everton journalist, who's that Everton guy.
Yeah.
I'd like to go on. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to see relatively somebody who, what have you just done there, Warren?
Just cleaning my screen.
Wonder what you do.
Go on, carry on.
No, yeah, so this is probably very boring to people, but anyway, I reluctantly said yes in the end. So I started getting people together and you won't know two of the people that have got with us. I don't think I've never heard of him before anyway. So it started getting a bit of a listenership. A Wednesday 6:30 till 7:30. And then Ped, who everyone knows, who does Toffee TV, he came in to start doing stuff. He ended up presenting it. He brought Matt with him. And that's sort of how it started. But I went up to the director at Radio City and I said to him, I'd like to buy the Blue Room. And he said, what do you mean buy it? He didn't have a clue about sport. He said, what do you mean buy it? I said, I want to own that show that goes out. And because he didn't have a clue about sport, he went, yeah, it's all yours. As in to make a podcast. The show would still carry on, but to have it as mine. So I took it, made it into the business we are these days. And then Ped went off to do Toffee TV. And then me, Matt, and Paddy came along as well. And then that's how we started creating the Blue Room. So I would like to think at the time, since I started it all, I called it the Blue Room and referred to everybody who came in. I hope Matt Jones isn't listening to this because I love the bones of the lads and he's done an amazing job for what we are these days. And well, we all love Matt, don't we? Anyway, I'm not going to go on to that and get emotional, but yeah, that was the start of the Blue Room.
And it was, of course, Paddy's Mailbag, this show.
Paddy's Mailbag. Yeah. It was called Postman Pat.
Yeah.
Because, Paddy Pat, and I put a picture of him on Postman Pat. And
I remember it.
Yeah, do you remember it?
Had the theme tune and everything.
Yeah, so Paddy reluctantly did that. And then, obviously, you look at the world-renowned journalist he is these days, really proud of him, to be honest with you, with all that. And obviously Matt at the Echo and things.
I think now it should be changed too. A bit like the American talk shows, like The Tonight Show with Jimmy Kimmel and that sort of thing, and Late Night with David Letterman. I think it should be Mailbag with Les Roberts.
Yeah, I like that. I
don't need my name attaching to it.
You're the first person who's... Can anyone do it? Friday at 5. Is anyone free Friday at 5? Maybe it's yours. It's your show.
Oh, I know. Doesn't need my name on it.
Oh, I know. Listen to him now. The ego.
Anyway, Laura's asked, how many Everton mints do you reckon you can fit in your mouth at once? We'll keep this one for a live show when we're all together, and we'll bring Everton.
What, to do a live test? Yeah.
Yeah, do it. I'm gonna say. I think the last time we did this was in the Tower with Maltesers, and Kate fitted about 20 in her mouth.
Wow. I think you could fit a fair amount in because they're not the biggest, are the Everton mints, but they are. Yeah, I think 10.
I'll go 15.
Right, we'll do it.
I think
because I'm thinking in your mouth, obviously, but also you've got your gaff where your teeth are top, couple in there,
couple down the bottom, like
couple below as well. There's other gaps there. There's gaps in the mouth.
Such a shout. It is
serious, isn't it?
next time we do Mailbag Live, we'll do that.
Everton special.
Just one word answer. Whose goal was better, Tim Howard's or Neil Maupay's? Dave, come on. You've got to answer.
Maupay's. There you go, Dave. I've answered it for you. It was actually a really good... Maupay's was actually a really good finish.
It was.
One goal he scored.
No, it wasn't. It was shite. I don't know whose goal was. It was Fabianski's goal. Should have saved it. But anyway, I would class Neil Maupay as the equivalent of Duncan Ferguson to ever saying anything positive about Tim Howard. So it's Maupay. Tim Howard. Fucking hate saying his name. Tim Howard had a big price. He had a big issue to play in my life, and I'm telling you again, that ridiculous attempt at saving Frank Lampard's shot in 2009. That was a disgrace. That was a disgrace. And yet we kept him till what? Was it 2015 when he actually did one? And you still get any time he does the telly over there in the States. You'd have seen him a load recently, wouldn't you? You see him over there doing.
I don't have the same hatred for him. I don't think he was a NBC Sports,
like ABC XYZ, whatever it's called over there.
I'm ending this. We're not pulling this thread anymore.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm moving on.
You did it. It was your fault.
I'm not. It was a question. It was Laura's question.
Mentioned it twice. You've mentioned it twice.
Maupay's goal, by the way, resulted in a win. Tim Howard, we still lost. So
Warren, you're going to be really glad that you're nearly on the way to France. You know, when you live that close.
Stephen has asked, theoretically, who would get the biggest Goodison boo on their return? DCL if he signs for Newcastle, Branthwaite if he signs for the Shite, Maupay if his move to Marseille falls through. Thankfully, that third one can't happen, but it would have to be Branthwaite if that ever happened, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be Nick Barmby levels times 100%. 500, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I tell you what, I was just about to say, I'm living for the day Anthony Gordon signs for them and makes his first game back.
I can't wait.
That news was mad, you know.
The darkness in me wants that to happen.
Yeah.
Just to see it.
I reckon a lot of Barmby frustration would come out in that as well, because we never really got to rip him.
Do you know what? Do you remember when he signed for Hull? Barmby, late in his career. We had Hull in the cup on a Tuesday night, and I went down there and I watched it, and there was probably about 3,500 Evertonians that day. You've never heard so much abuse and bile and hatred, and honest to God, like, even I was a bit like that. Not too far. I wouldn't say it went too far, but even I was like, God, like, that fella's taken some abuse there. And I think if Branthwaite went to them, I think that'd be a hope, because you'd have Les and the pair of us, you'd have our age range who remembers Barmby well.
Yeah.
You'd have that mixed with the new young fans who've got this lad who's unbelievable, and then he's just at the drop of a hat joining them. I think that would be hatred on another level. Yeah. But yeah, Gordon to go to them, I'd love to see that happen, just because I think that'd be quite the alter ego me. You would love to see that.
Bizarro Warren. Yeah, it's like an anger that you want, that, isn't it? You can harness that. It's not like
get it. You can legally get it out your system and display that anger. Yeah.
With Barmby, I had to go to this fitness centre in Anfield to interview him, and Big Nev and Haman as well, and I think it was, I don't know, some charity thing it was for like Barclays or something like that. And I went up at first, I did Barmby. The feeling I had walking up to that lad was it was hard. It was hard to go up to him, do you know what I mean?
I imagine.
And sat down, interviewing him, and he got like 10 minutes interviewing before I passed on to, like, a man was sound, and obviously Big Nev's great to talk to. And talking to Barmby, you'd have to ask him about the charity first of all, and then you get like 5 minutes or so talking about the game, talking about football. And he asked me instantly, he said, are you blue or red? And I said, I'm a blue. And he said, oh, okay. And like he put his head down like that. I said, I'm not too bothered. You know, I absolutely bottled it myself. Like, I could have said, I don't even want to speak to you, absolute little shit. But I started asking him and all that, and started talking to him. It was ahead of the derby. I think it was the 2-2 that we had, when I think they were 2-0 up. I think, and Osman scored just before.
Osman, yeah.
It was
Osman.
then. Yeah. It was around then. I started speaking to him and all that. And again, I'm gonna absolutely rip the part for this mailbag. But he was actually all right, to be honest. You know what I mean? He's I don't know whether he was just saying that because I probably was, because I'm there and there's a Merseyside derby coming up within inside a couple of days. But he said, I have a lot of respect for Everton. He said, that was it when he said, how could I turn down going to a club like Liverpool? That's what he said.
Move on, quick.
Move on. Mike has asked.
Hang on. Go back. What was the first? That was a question of three, wasn't it?
DCL to Newcastle.
Branthwaite for the Shite. Maupay if his move to Marseille falls through.
Who get the biggest boo? Yeah,
Branthwaite. Mike, when will we score our first league goal? And when will our first point or points come?
Tomorrow, 2-0 Everton, and Inzaghi's going to score the first goal.
Tomorrow, 1-1, McNeil. Dave?
Leicester away, which is after the international break and after the game away at Villa.
Who's going to score?
I think Irobonu. I really like the look of this lad. You know, I think he's going to be a top. I've already said it, and I think they've gone too far with it. But he looks as good as Onana. He looks like he's got everything about him that you want to see in a midfield player. And it looks to me like he's the type of fella who wants to put a graft in, where I don't think you necessarily think about that with Onana. This lad's put everything into what he's done so far and looks like a massive talent.
Yeah, I would agree, definitely. Right, we've got quite a few Oasis questions, but I think I'll save them for next week.
Definitely, maybe.
Definitely might be. Might be. That's the thing, isn't it? That's an Oasis tribute band. Definitely might be.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's a belter name. Gary, seeing as Labour wants to ban smoking, what's the one thing you would like to be banned that would piss off a lot of people? His is Love Island. The turkey teeth, live, laugh, love gang would fall into the abyss with their woke nonsense and make the world a better place. Mine's acoustic guitars being anywhere within 500 yards of any football fans.
Yeah,
just ban acoustic guitars from football.
It's become a thing, hasn't it? And I know they like to think they started up, but they've popularized the idea of you come to an event and you sing songs, and it's so tedious. But I'd agree. Yeah.
I did that.
What?
No.
Did you say
no.
Dave?
Dave did, yeah.
No.
You started it all, didn't you?
Yeah.
I started it all.
Yeah.
Didn't you start the Blue Room Dave?
Sorry. I thought you were talking about I started taking like plastic guitars or whatever it was Les said at the game.
No.
You told Danny Rapp, didn't you, to get some lad on a guitar to sing for them? Is that your idea?
That one who needs a wash.
Yeah, just sing Munich songs, lad. That'll be sound everyone will forget in 5 years.
Oh, mate. Did you see that thing he does with the
rap?
No, Paddy the Baddy, and all he do is say, lad. Oh, lad. Bit of a mad one. The thing I would scrap is little kids having posters saying, "Can I have your shirt?"
Oh, shout. Yeah.
Bin it. Yeah. Get rid of them. Ban the kids.
Yeah.
You know, don't let them go to games.
What age is the cutoff?
No, did you see some of them like grown men?
Well, that's it, isn't it? Some of the things the parents have definitely drawn them for them, said, just hold that for us at the game.
Yeah. Oh, I know, that's the thing. Like, look, we'll try and get that kid there. Oh, you'll love it as a kid. So it was that, like, referring back to that time Pickford gave me his gloves, Les. That at Brighton.
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to give them to that kid who was about 5 years old. But Pickford said give them to him. And I looked all like a nice fella. And like when I gave them to the kid, I was holding on to them, trying to think, fuck off you.
Right, we've got 5 minutes, so we'll whip through these ones. So Gary, Liam, Greeny, Alex, and Sam will do your questions next week. Maggie, if this is on did you see that fella at Everton today reported about a burger and the bun was branded with the Everton crest?
Yeah. Seen it on the replies to Twitter. Yeah.
So Maggie said, if you could brand anything in the world with an Everton crest, what would it be and why? Nick Barmby.
Condoms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Condoms.
Yeah, because we get fucked every week. You might as well. I haven't been on Mailbag since Dave revealed he had no idea what the leather shop was. So in honor to that, what about a leather jacket and you turn round and there's a big Everton crest on the back of the jacket?
Oh, you could get one in the 90s, couldn't you?
Yeah.
What? A black bomber jacket, leather with a big Everton badge on the back.
Hang on, Les, with you being slightly older than us, right? Have you got any leather wear?
I did have a leather jacket in the 90s.
Did you really?
Yeah, so think Liam Gallagher on the front of Supersonic. the cover for that, it was that sort of box leather jacket, and I thought it was class. It was massive.
I'd love to see it on that.
Not quite a duster.
Just to take quickly. Just to take quickly, go back to the banning. What would you ban question? Yeah. I would ban the inevitable next 12 months of Oasis haircuts that are going to happen.
Nate, I'm bored of it. I'm so bored of it already.
Phil Foden's already got it, hasn't he? And Cole Palmer.
Because at the minute, all the kids have got that haircut. You know, where you dry the front and the front's long and it's all frizzy, but the back's all short. I know for a fact in the next 12 to 18 months, certainly as a teacher, I'm going to see this. You're just going to see the Paul Weller / mod haircut come back.
That's why you're wearing the cap.
What's already annoying me is the fact that there's going to be people knocking about in bucket hats and cagoules. And it's like,
which is your thing.
And everyone's doing it. And it's going to be like, oh, you're dressing like Oasis? No, I'm not. It's
the Les Roberts look.
Exactly. It's exactly that. Quick one from Maggie.
Les Roberts look on the Les Roberts mailbag.
Exactly, yeah. I should have put my bucket hat on anyway. Maggie said, Marouane Fellaini famously lost all his powers when he braided his hair. Is this the true reason for DCL's current lack of form? Should he release his beautiful curls again? Or is he just shit, do you think?
I think he's just shit.
I'm starting to lose a lot of love for that lad.
Yeah, I think he's. I look at his stats a lot on online, and he's like, I think he hasn't gone past 8 goals a season apart from that great year with Ancelotti when he was in with us. Yeah, I don't know what he's playing at with his hair. I think he needs to bin that, and I think he needs to get off.
Isn't it? By the way, do you know if anyone else in the past, the last goal scorer to score a winning goal against Liverpool? You'd think they'd be immortalised, but there's just something about them that's not quite working out at the minute.
And I'm starting
to lose a lot of faith with that, lads.
We can still throw Branthwaite on it, can't we? And just forget about him. Scored in the second.
Yeah, so long as it doesn't move there.
Yeah.
Maybe you should release the curls then. Yeah, do it. Release the curls tomorrow. Maybe put it in bunches. That'd get
I can't even remember his hair before he's done this.
It was like a bit of a top knot kind of thing, wasn't it? It was just like back in like in a
man bun.
Right.
Man bun money.
Yeah. And finally, as I said, Sam, Alex, Greeny, Liam, and Gary will get to yours next week. To finish off, bringing a mailbag nicely full circle here with a classic question, but a nice little twist for this week. Maggie's asked, how many Neil Maupays could you cling film to a lamppost? 10, I reckon. With 10 Everton
Neil Maupays.
Trying to look at the one down our road.
What, the Neil Maupay down your road?
No, what like the sound? I mean, he's your height, isn't he? Les about 5'1".
I think 4'9" is my height, mate.
It is according to me. If you ever stood next to Les, I don't know. It's because I'm quite tall compared to Les. I think, there's no way. What do you say you're at? 5'7"?
5'8".
Not 5'8". Anyway,
5'8" I am.
He can barely hold a pint, but. I'm going
5'8",
but I'm going Maupay. You can drag him round in circles all the way up. Do you get what I mean?
No.
Well, you know, if you like, I reckon you can fit Maupay, like 3 Maupays in a circle.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? And then put all the way up. So I reckon, how tall's a lamppost? Average lamppost about
10 foot.
Yeah, no, it's bigger than that because I'm 6 foot. There's only 4 feet bigger than me.
12?
I'd say no. Probably 12, like a crossbar. I reckon. I'm trying to do the maths of it. I reckon I could get 9.
9.
Yeah, in 3s around. 3 there, 3 there, 3 there.
It's a good system. I like it. Maybe 10 on the top as well.
Yeah, just
light.
One light diagonal across where the light is.
Yeah. 10. I'm settling on 10. Warren, 10.
I'm just going to finish off this question in this show by saying all I want to do is cling film the current Neil Maupay by himself on the top of the Radio City Tower on a windy night. That'll do me.
And that's a good way to finish. I just realised I forgot to put the last 2 questions on the little ticker because we've got a snazzy little ticker now on the video. But anyway, you get the point. It's been a little bit chaotic. We had some breaks in it. I don't know if that recorded or not. Dave's been talking about all kinds as usual. But that has been your mailbag for this week. Thanks to Dave, thanks to Warren, thanks to everyone who sent questions in. As I said, we'll get to everyone's question we didn't get to this week. Next week, have a wonderful weekend. Up the toffees.